shows Richard Sherman right there sitting up there at the corner spot, and you see that. He just slips into that little soft spot, and Allen's got a strong enough arm to get it there on time.
Nice chest bump there, and deservedly so, as the Bills improve to 9-3. They win it 34-24 behind a monster night from Josh Allen, 32 of 40, 375 yards, and 4 touchdowns to lead the way. Not to forget Cole Beasley as well, as we welcome you back out inside the studio. Kyle here with TD. And Terrell, when you look at the way Buffalo won this football game tonight, what was the biggest difference for them?
You know, they're playing up against a very good defense in the San Francisco 49ers, and people talk about Robert Saleh as a defensive coordinator and how much pressure he puts on a team. He makes you work for every, ounce or every yard you get. You watched the last week game against the Rams. They put a lot of pressure on you, make you have to go down the field in a very methodical way. But the Bills, they had these long sustaining drives of 75 yards, 60-something yards, 70 yards. And they weren't forced to make mistakes. And typically when you make a team do that, they'll make mistakes. But Josh Allen, watching him not only in the pocket, but leaving the pocket, having patience, finding wide receivers open. I mean, he's the difference maker in this team. He's the reason why the Bills are so explosive now. They're scoring 30 points a game. I mean, this offense is amazing right now, and they're doing this against a quality defense. I know they're missing some key guys in Bosa, but this defense is still very good. But the Bills, really good, the balance they have. But Josh Allen is the difference maker. And you see, the way they were able to just have these long sustaining drives, to me, was the most impressive thing that I saw today.
All right, you mentioned some of the receivers that he was spreading the ball around to, TD. Cole Beasley with a career night tonight, 113 yards all in the first half alone. Do you think that's something, maybe a precursor to what we could see going forward with this Bills team? Also, Jay Jones joining us now. Welcome to the show, JJ.
What's up, Jay? You finally joining us, man? You want to handle this? You want me to handle this?
Man, this technology stuff, man. I need Puma and I need all them guys over there, man, that's back there behind the scenes. Come help me.
So, JJ, talk to me. What'd you think about Cole Beasley tonight?
Man, I loved everything about Cole Beasley and this Buffalo Bills offense, man. They had the Niners on their heels all game long. The Niners didn't know what was coming. I mean, this was an excellent job by the OC of the Buffalo Bills. I mean, he spreaded these dudes out at times, and he let Josh Allen go to work, and then he put in the jumbo package, and he let those guys run the football and go to work. And Josh Allen did this. He was using his legs. He was getting it outside the pocket. He was buying extra time for his receivers to get open against that good secondary in San Francisco. And they went to work tonight. But Cole Beasley is one of those sure-hand guys that's going to always be where he's supposed to be. He's an excellent route runner, excellent communication with the quarterback. He's always where the quarterback needs him to be. And Josh Allen is looking for him and finding him. And with the ball in his hands, he is hard to bring down and hard to stop. But the Buffalo Bills had it going. You don't really see the Niners defense on their heels like this too much. And Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills got after him today and had this Niners defense on their heels. And I don't care who the Niners defense is missing. They still got a very good defense, and they did not know what was going coming at them today.
TD, the Bills have won 5 of 6. Their only loss coming courtesy of the Hail Murray. Just how legit are they?
They're legit. There's no question about this. The Bills are a legitimate team. There's no more looking at them as maybe they're a gimmick team. I think what they proved last year when they made the postseason and really had a chance to beat the Texans in that game is that they're a real team. They came back this year and just sort of picked up where they left off. And then you see the development of Josh Allen. I mean, to me, I think he's taken the next step. And when you have a quarterback like that in this league who you can use to come back from games where you're in a deficit, look at the Rams game where they were battling the Rams. Rams came back and he was asked to lead that team to a victory. He came back and did that. So the Bills are legitimate. Their defense is not a great defense like they were last year, but they're good enough to be able to stop teams and make teams have to work for scoring points. And they don't have a glaring weakness to me. So we'll see the big test, too. Next week they play the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll see how that goes down as well.
All right, JJ, talk to me about this San Francisco 49ers team. They fall to 5-7, but they could potentially get Jimmy Garoppolo back before season's end, Kittle as well. What are their chances, in your estimation, of maybe sneaking into the playoffs?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, I mean, it's one game at a time. But second of all, they got to win out. You know, you got to probably finish 9-7 if you want to get in the playoffs in the NFC. But listen, you spoke on it. They get Jimmy G back. You're probably going to get George Kittle back, you know, on the field too, who's probably just as big as Jimmy Garoppolo because he can do everything, man. He's a blocker. He's a pass catcher. I mean, shoot, he motivates that football team. When he's in there, they're a totally different ball club. So if they could get those two guys back by their next game, then I'm going to say the Niners have a chance to win this thing out. I mean, you see the schedule right there. It's a very winnable schedule. I'm going to say they have a chance to win out and sneak themselves in the playoffs. And I'm telling you right now, if those two dudes are here, is getting healthy, the Niners can be scary.
JJ, I think their shot was tonight, man. They had to win out. They had to win out. Right now, they're not making the postseason. I know it's a good story.
TD, you see that schedule?
Yeah, they still have Seattle to play. They still have Arizona to play. I mean,
that's it.
Come on now. What you mean that's it? Hold on. So now we're just disrespecting the Washington Football Club, right? We're just saying that they're just an easy win, right? We're just going to say that
nobody.
We're just going to chalk that up as a dub. No.
We're not disrespecting nobody, but I'm looking at two NFC East teams right here.
So what?
That's what I'm looking at. And I'm looking at the records in the NFC. So those are winnable games for them. And then the last two is division games, man.
No more records, man. No, the Giants just went to Seattle and won that game. So no more records. No more. You know that. Can't do records no more. They're not making the postseason.
Get them, TD. Kyle Shanahan does deserve some credit, given the injuries that the 49ers have dealt with this year, whether they make the postseason or not. Done a great job kind of keeping that team afloat. Meantime, this game produced some fantasy studs as fantasy managers getting ready for the playoffs. As you see, Josh Allen with his 4-touchdown night, 30 big ones to lead the way. He and Cole Beasley both with big nights as well. You remember Logan Thomas and what he was able to do in the early Monday game. So some studs for sure here on our Monday night lineup. Fantasy Live's Marcus Grant now joins us. Marcus, Josh Allen seems to be well past that midseason slump. He balled out tonight, 4 touchdowns, 375 yards. Are you in on him moving forward?
Absolutely. At the start of the season, the first 3 or 4 weeks, we were talking about Josh Allen as a fantasy MVP. I mean, people were talking about him potentially as the NFL MVP. That sort of died down midseason because he did go through a little bit of a rough patch, but he has come back in a big way lately. 27 or more fantasy points in 3 of his last 4 games. And doing it tonight against this 49er defense really gives you confidence to start him the rest of the way. I mean, you were probably starting him because he's been so good, but now you can really feel confident regardless of who the matchups are. I know he's got the Steelers coming up next week. So even just looking at that, you got to feel pretty good that Josh Allen could end up being the guy who leads you to a fantasy championship.
Meantime, in the early game, running back Antonio Gibson was trending up after that 3-touchdown performance on Thanksgiving. He injures his toe early in the game, left did not return. No word on how long he will be out, but what's the contingency plan if you happen to have him on your squad?
Well, in the short term, I mean, if you're looking on that Washington roster, the next couple of guys up are going to be some combination of J.D. McKissic and Peyton Barber. Those are the guys we saw get a lot of work today against the Steelers. But there are some other guys out there that are on the waiver wire who could hold some interest. You look, say, in New York, Ty Johnson might be a guy there. There's some other guys out there, just a little bit of a tease. We'll have the spice rack a little bit later on.